What's up, everybody? Puck Mike here, back with another video, and back with episode 4 of the Puck Mike Show. The Puck Mike Show, connecting hockey cards to hockey news. Be sure to check out our playlist and podcast, a weekly show discussing the latest and greatest hockey card news, featuring key segments like Around the League, the top news stories around the world of hockey and their impact on the hockey card market, the Card Report, card-centric hockey card news, weekly pack breaks, and so much more. So go ahead, guys, hit that subscribe button for me, and also don't forget to check out my other channel at Card Zoo Sports Cards, where I share my experience selling mostly low-end sports cards on eBay. On today's show, we'll be going around the league, looking at the top news stories around the world of hockey, their impact on the hockey card market. We're going to be looking at last week's highest and lowest selling cards according to eBay's own TerraPeak Insights tool in our segment called Needle Movers. You're going to get your weekly dose of the Card Report with card-centric hobby news. We're going to have this week's player spotlight, and then we'll go around YouTube as well and see what's going on with hockey card channels around the world of YouTube. So, first up, around the league. Let's do it. Let's see what's been going on. Lots of fun stuff to talk about this week. First up is Mr. Collin Graf. I think I'm saying that right. Signs with the San Jose Sharks. Collin Graf is attended Quinnipiac University. I think that's how you say it. Undrafted, basically seen as kind of the top NCAA prospect. And there was, I think he dwindled it down to like 5 teams. Supposedly Pittsburgh, my team was in on that. I don't know how true that is, but he picked San Jose. And to be honest, like, why would you not pick the worst team? Because you're going to get the most playing time. You know, if you look at a team like Pittsburgh, you know, and even not just Pittsburgh, a lot of teams around the league, you know, a lot of coaches, you know, we'll get you in our system, we'll get you in the AHL, we'll develop you. It's almost kind of like you got to pay your dues, and you know, sometimes if the player's good, like, you want to win or not, dude. So kind of cool that he just kind of came and he's already played 1 game, I think. He might have actually played 2 games. Didn't have any points in the first game, but yeah, I mean, you know, you're playing in college, and then hey, you want to come play in the NHL, you know, next week? Sure. So yeah, good for him. I don't fault him at all for playing with San Jose. Not a single card out there for Collin Graf. Can you believe it? I looked on eBay and there's nothing. You know, usually, like I said, we saw this with Josh Doan when he played his first game with the Coyotes. You know, Topps, like, I don't know if they have their own manufacturing or what. They just whipped out a sticker that had like the first debut date and everything. I don't see anything out there for Collin Graf in terms of cards. Not one single like knockoff, nothing. I didn't see anything, at least when I prepped this video yesterday. So yeah, I guess the only question I would have is, because I would think that NCAA would have like some cards, but for hockey, like, I swear I've seen like some college cards and stuff like that before, and especially of a player like him, you think there'd be something, but there's nothing. The only thing I would think is, like, is there any type of rules that prevents them from having them, or any type of license that but that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know if you know, leave a comment, let me know. But that's pretty cool. We're going to be tracking his stuff. We'll see what product he gets into now that he's actually in the league. Probably, I guess, too late to have this be a rookie season, right? There's only 5 games left. Yeah, so I guess next year would be his rookie year, probably. But yeah, pretty cool there. And then I wanted to talk about the Senators, Ottawa Senators, missing the playoffs for the 7th straight season. Can you believe it? How appalling! Really, I mean, take it a step back. This is a very competitive league now, and say what you want about Bettman, and there's a lot of things I actually don't like about Gary Bettman, but one being, he says this literally in every interview when somebody asks him about the league, you know, well, if you look at our competitive balance, he talks about competitive balance every single time. You know, it's been a tough league. I mean, not right when the salary cap was implemented, but you know, the last decade probably. I mean, there's a lot of competition. I mean, look at the playoff race in the East, which we're going to look at in a second here. You know, there's like 1-2 points separating the teams. So I mean, yeah, I just want to put that out there. But all that to say, they are still missing the playoffs for the 7th straight season, and you wonder what's going on there. Is there some leadership stuff going on? But with that, I actually wanted to look at some of Stützle's stuff, at least just for the last like 6 months, his young guns, and see kind of what it's been doing. I don't really there's not much to compare. I don't think the news breaking that they've missed. I mean, people know they're not going. They've known. I think they're not going to make the playoffs for a large part of this year. So I just want to look at what his young gun sales have been doing the last 6 months. See what kind of trends we see. I mean, he's got 618. So yeah, this is last 6 months. 40K in total sales. That's not terrible, I guess. I don't have much to compare. Let's try to find something that has let's see what the high is here. 2,300 for UD exclusives. Young Guns number 200. That's a gem mint. Okay, so that seems about right. I mean, especially when you consider, I think we looked at last week's show, and in needle movers we had OV, I think a Young Guns 10 was selling for like 3,700, which I was kind of surprised by. So I mean, yeah, that seems right there. I want to see what a regular Young Guns is going for. These are all exclusives. That's an auto French. Okay, so this is a gem mint, $150. It looks like it went for. Can't click on that one for some reason. Oh, it's because there's two of them. So this is interesting. If you're in Terapeak Insights, there's more than one item. So 2 of these sold. If there's more than one, it won't let you click on anything because it doesn't know which one to take you to, I guess. So that's, $150 at a 10. I would think it would be selling a little higher than that. To be honest, I feel like his hype, this stuff is not really very accurate. You can't look at this if you're in Terapeak, because there's a lot of crap in here, like a UD exclusive one. I don't want to say crap, but it's not. They're all different. UD exclusives 100 compared to his regular Young Guns, compared to a clear cut, compared to an auto. I mean, they're not same player, but different products, different. You don't want to compare those per se. So these peaks and valleys don't really tell you much. But 150 graded at a 10 is not that much. But I feel like he died down pretty quick. I think he rode the high for a while of being better than Lafreniere. I do think it doesn't help that he's not on a great team. I mean, I don't know what the deal is with them. I don't know where they're going. I don't know why they're in the spot they're in, but I kind of want to just look at his stuff. I do have a Young Guns of his, honestly. I have in my collection. I think I bought it for $40, $50. I bought it pretty cheap, so I still think he's better than I still think he's one of the top ones in that draft class, one of the top players, but yeah, we'll see what goes on with them next year. I feel like there's a lot of teams that are very close to breaking out, that have been supposed to be breaking out for a while, like the Buffalo Sabres. Buffalo's probably going to miss the playoffs by maybe anywhere from 2 to 4 points. Ottawa is a little bit more, but they're getting closer, I think. So it's kind of promising for Ottawa fans. But with that, and as I mentioned before, I do want to take a look at the playoff picture here in the East. Not sure what we'll get into in terms of cards on this, but I thought this was just kind of cool to mention because we do got a lot of stuff going on here. Not just the East. We can look at the whole thing, but obviously Pittsburgh Penguins, that's my team. Very, very close to a spot. They were in a spot, and then when Detroit tied them up on the amount of games played, they came back ahead by 1 point. Penguins do play Detroit, I think, on Thursday, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. They play Toronto tonight. But that whole race right there, Philly, I could kind of say you could kind of count them out of it. They're not doing great lately. They're not doing great. The Caps have been tanking as well. I'm not sure where they were in the spot. They had the last spot. I don't know what's going on with them. But if I had to pick, I would say the Islanders, the Penguins, or the Red Wings get in. I don't want to rule the Caps out because they're literally right. They're tied with the Penguins. They have the exact same record, the exact same points. So it's just they've lost the last 6 games. But if I had to pick, I would say definitely the Islanders get in, and either the Red Wings or the Penguins get in. So we'll see what goes on there. I thought it'd be kind of interesting to take a look at this and see. Like I said, Sabres here 70. They're not far out, but we'll have to take a look at I've seen some Owen Power cards out there still. I don't think it's hurt them at all. Or Darlene. There's still Tage Thompson, although he's kind of slowed down in terms of he had the big hype when he had the breakout. season. What we got here going on in the West? We have Vancouver. Everyone's stressing out about Vancouver. I mean, they're still 5-5 in their last 10. Not a big deal. Thatcher Demko's cards do pretty well on the market if you have some of his. Although not as quick as when he first had some hype. They were moving quicker, but I still have some of his out there that get people add them to their watch list every now and then. Let's see what else we got here. Vegas, Minnesota still holding on. Oh, well, they're not gonna. Okay, 92. Yeah, there's no way. They were there for a minute. Ironically, 37, 30, and 10. In this conference is you'd be in a spot here. So a little bit more points in this conference. Vegas holding that last spot. I would assume they would keep that. The Preds as well. And so, yeah, pretty cool stuff. Kraken. We're going to highlight Shane Wright later in our player spotlight section, the Seattle Kraken. So we'll talk a little bit about him. I won't jump into that yet, but wanted to talk about that a little bit and take a look at it. The other thing I wanted to look at here is, or talk about, is the Coyotes leaving Arizona potentially. Basically, they said, I don't think it was the owner. It was a local station out of Arizona. They said basically like, if we don't get this land, we're going to have to look at relocation. And I watched some of the hockey insiders like Saravalli or whatever, however you say it, Frank Saravalli, and he said people were giving him slack on Twitter, or X, whatever. I'll forever call it Twitter. That he was being negative, saying right, but the deal's not in yet, the land deal, which is true. I mean, they had this is the same scenario playing out before. We got this deal, and the city was like, no, I don't really know why. But now we're back at this again. There's going to be this land, this huge plan, this auction. It's not a done deal, though. So Bettman's pretty hush on it, other than it's a great market. We have all the faith. But we know Bettman. We know Gary. So we'll see what happens with them, though. I wanted to bring that up because a friend of mine brought up an interesting point when I was talking about hockey cards, probably against their will, last week. I love talking hockey. But yeah, I brought it up about if you have a player who was on a team for a short bit and then they move to another team, is the value of the cards of that player in that in the previous, who was on the team for basically a short time, is the value increased because there's less cards of this person as a New York Ranger versus, they spent only 1 year as a Ranger in their rookie year and they won the Calder that year or something. And then they spent the next 10 years in LA. Are those Rangers cards more valuable, excluding everything else, just because there's less of them in that uniform? And initially I was like, no, not really. But then I started thinking about the Atlanta Thrashers, and I've sold a couple Danny Heatley cards, I think, or maybe it wasn't Heatley. I think it was Ilya Kovalchuk, I feel like as I thought about it more, I was like, actually, maybe that would make a case for. I don't think it's they're flying like hotcakes, but you think about it. I mean, there's less in print, so it is kind of more rare. So I bring that up to say, if the Coyotes do relocate, hint, I don't know, Utah, Quebec. Quebec, though, I mean, that brand people love the Quebec Nordiques. I have a shirt that has Quebec Nordiques logo, but. Yeah, we'll see what happens if I don't, they'll be theoretically, unless there's ever a team in Phoenix in the future. That's the last of, actually, I just had this thought, Josh Doan. If that's the case, all we have of Josh Doan or of his, rookie season or the first games he's played would be as a Coyote which is no longer a team. That actually might make a good case for, hey, these cards are a little bit more valuable because it was the last season of the Coyotes before they relocated and all that fun stuff. So we'll see. Although if they relocate, I mean, it's not like it's going to happen tomorrow, right? Wouldn't that take time? And they probably would still play in Arizona next year, I would think. So I don't know. Lots of fun stuff to think about. I wanted to bring that up. I thought that was kind of cool. All right, moving on to our Needle Movers segment, where I look at the highest and lowest selling cards, hockey cards on eBay, according to eBay's own Terapeak product insights tool, looking at it from the previous week. And again, last week we decided we're going to cut these off here at the end of the previous week from when this video publishes. So here we're going to look through Saturday, April 6th. And then next week, when we do this segment, we'll look through the end of this week just to kind of keep it, because I was having some overlap and it was kind of confusing to tell what was selling from this week or the previous week. So this week we got $1.5 million. Again, this is eBay.com. You know, if I switch to eBay.ca, which is the Canada site, you'd get some different numbers. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I know that like I list stuff on eBay.com. I think that does get listed on the other site because I sell a lot of cards to Canada. And I know like that wouldn't mean that all the people in Canada are going to like eBay.com. So I do think there's some overlap on these numbers, but probably also some exclusions. But we're just kind of going to do it for fun and see. We're not looking for pristine accuracy in terms of all the data. We're just going to kind of see what happened. And so let's go to the highest. What we got here? Connor McDavid. And this is a one sold 9,600. This is a 15-16. Is this a Future Watch auto? Future Watch McDavid. Yeah. And it's interesting that this is a Beckett because we're going to talk about Beckett in the card report this week. 9.5, 10, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5. Okay, yeah. So, and a 10 on the autograph. That is a sick auto. Look at that. That's pretty cool. This one sold 769, 789, can't tell, out of 999. That's pretty cool. So yeah, that was the world's most trusted source in collecting. Still, 96.88. That sold on April 4th. Let's jump back here and see Wayne Gretzky, 15,000 bees. I mean, come on. A 9. That's actually a really good condition for 15,000. That is nuts. Let's see what else we got. More McDavid. Some of this you're like, big deal. This is an OV Future Watch, numbered 999, 9.5. Yeah, and his this is autograph. That's why, because the Gem Mint Young Guns non-auto. Yeah, like on last week, I think we saw was like 3,700 or something like that. 6,999. Yeah, so 6,000. Okay. Yeah, we saw these last week too. These tobacco cards are so cool. So we got Allen Iverson in there. That's not a hockey card. Michael Jordan. Connor Bedard. Wait, is this didn't this just 23? Is this 23 or 20? Hold on a second. Because I know 23, 20. Yeah, this is already 23, 24. We're going to talk about this too in our segment about YouTube. What's going around YouTube. 2 out of 25. That's a pretty good auto. $7,000. So this is 23, 24 SP Game Use, which just came out. Somebody already pulled it. That's the thing is like when you think about if you had one, would you keep the card now? Would you sell it now? Sell it later? Let's be real. Every one of us would be like, I'm selling that now. I would probably, I mean, if it was the $7,000 one, hey, you want $7K? Yeah. I don't know though. Then again, this card when he's, we don't know what his career is going to be like. I'm not saying to say that, in 5 years, his cards are going to be SHIT, but, yeah, I would think it would be at least a little bit more than this in like 20 years. But I mean, that's part of the risk, right? You take when you look at all that stuff. More Bedard. Let's look at the lower stuff. So yeah, if we look at the high stuff, we'll look at the lower stuff here in our, and of course we always have these one centers gone at auctions. Some of them have pretty high shipping, of course, which is good on the seller's part, I guess, to make sure you get your stuff. But let's get one that has, 63. Okay, so an OV Ecliptic. I wonder if there's a way we'll have to maybe tweak this next time. We'll have to filter this and see if we can. I want to look at like total sales. You know what I mean? Not average. Like I want to leave the shipping out of it. I want to look like the lowest total price is what I want to look at. else we got down here? Some of these, I don't even know who some of these are. 99, that's a base. Gretzky, right? Yep. I have a lot of, you'd call junk wax Gretzky. I have zero auction listings in my store right now on eBay for my sports card store. I don't usually have luck with them. I'm always afraid of this happening. This looks like one I had a couple of these I sold. Now that's a different one. Yeah, I have a lot of Gretzky. Ian Moran, I remember this guy on the Penguins. Yep, that's actually a pretty cool card. 2002. Yeah, I have a lot of I guess junk wax era Gretzky in the store. Actually, somebody has like 7 of them saved onto the watch list right now. I'm like, buy it already. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. That's another edition of Needle Movers. Let's move on to our next edition of The Card Report. So yes, lots of cool stuff to talk about. Actually, there's only a couple, but it's big stuff. Beckett Grading Services, I mentioned this earlier a little bit, has an announcement. Luke Miller is now the new head of Beckett Grading Services. Wow. Yeah, it's like, okay, he put out this video out there, I think, on like their Facebook page. The dude seems like he's never been like in charge of anything. I don't want to. It's just kind of like, hey, we're moving forward, and moving forward, what we're going to do is focus on customer service. We're going to focus on. It's like, yeah, I mean, you should be doing these things anyway. You're not going to differentiate yourself as a grader in the sports market hobby at this point, in my opinion, as like having exceptional customer service. It definitely helps. Don't get me wrong. You could differentiate yourself, I guess, with having terrible customer service the other way. But, going back to like the discussion with SGC and PSA acquired SGC. A lot of people liked SGC because it wasn't PSA. They wanted an alternative to the big guy, and they were faster. So that was kind of like they carved out a niche in the market. I think they were very innovative in doing that. What are sports card graders and sellers and collectors looking for the most out of a grading company? Is it, we want our customer service to be great. A lot of times you don't even interact with these companies. So to me, it's speed and resale value. Even if you're collecting, a lot of people, those lines are blurry. They're going to end up selling it. And even if they don't sell it, they want to know it's worth more in their collection. So to me, the biggest things are speed and resale value. And I think we lost one of those players here with SGC. They kind of slowed down. I submitted one to SGC recently. A couple of them, it took them 10, 12 days, business days. It was right on the cusp of, they say 5 to 10 days. That's not happening. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Beckett, I guess. I mean, I look at Beckett. I mean, you think of like the price guides and all the stuff of like what they used to be known for. Like, yeah, there is that good reputation, but I just keep thinking back to one of my courses in college. They talk about innovation and thinking about and changing with the industry and thinking forward thinking. I just feel like Beckett hasn't done that, and I haven't graded with them, so I can't speak on like, are their grades reliable? I mean, we saw one of those cards was the McDavid still sold. Beckett graded it. Like, I don't think you're throwing your cards away grading with Beckett. I don't, especially if it's a good card. I mean, I think people would buy it. But just looking at the company like holistically, you wonder about how long, they're going to have that market share that they do, and is it going to continue to dwindle and all those things. So, or is it going to rise? One thing they really have a really cool is their website. I really like Beckett's website. They have a really cool like upcoming release calendar, not just for hockey, but for other sports. And then they also have like a hobby news, I think, calendar, and they have their checklists too, which are pretty good. Sometimes I'll use theirs if I can't find what I need on like Cardboard Connection or something else. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the future of Beckett. Next up here, we have a father and son, I believe. I'll just read the little news clip here. Nearly a year after it happened, police have arrested 2 suspects in connection with a hobby shop burglary in Alabama, and police say the 2 men now behind bars could be responsible for other card store burglaries in the region. Big Hits sports cards lost tens of thousands of dollars in inventory to DNA evidence extracted at the scene led police to two men in Iberville Parish, Louisiana. The CBS affiliate in Mobile has details, including a chat with the shop owner. There is a video out there if you want to check it out. I'm sure you could find it on YouTube or Google or something. But first thing is, there's some really dumb criminals. DNA evidence. Did you like sneeze all over the class or something? Or like, do you not have gloves, man? Like, I don't know what. Maybe they had gloves and then they were like rubbing their eyes and sneezing in their hands. I don't know. But yeah, so not very smart there. But it's interesting. You have this story and then the person that went to jail for like selling like the hundreds of thousands or like a lot of tens of thousands of dollars in fake cards. It is I think a boost for the hobby in that you do have some crackdown on that stuff. It's also part of why I only sell through eBay because of the authenticity guarantee. But yeah, I just thought that was a funny story to share, honestly. Hopefully that card shop had some good insurance, so they have, how much did it say? Tens of thousands in inventory. That's crazy. They probably had some nice cards in there. And then lastly, here on the card report, we have a 30. This one's even funnier. A 36-year-old Ohio man was arrested after he and his 7-year-old son were stopped by Walmart security personnel after leaving the store with nearly $3,400 of sports cards they didn't pay for. Folks, listen. I don't want to say you're making it easy for people to catch you because I don't want to insult your intelligence. However, these criminals do not seem very smart in these cases. Especially with like, Walmart, I'm in the U.S., like in Canada, I know like Ziri on YouTube, always talks about like the little security tag on some of the products and they're all like behind glass. Like it's not really like that. Granted, we do, there's people that it's grown a lot here, but like if I go into Target, I can just grab it and usually there might be like a smaller security thing in it, but they're not behind glass or anything. Like honestly, they're all just thrown all over the place. They're completely unorganized. You can't really find which. There's not like a dedicated section a lot of times, like hockey, baseball. It's all like kind of just thrown because people are just fishing through it. Nobody organizes it. So it's a little bit less secure here in the States, I would say, at least in this state. But what do you just like put $3,400 in your cart and you're going to walk out and things okay? Like, I don't know. I thought that was pretty interesting to share. But that's about it here on this week's version of The Card Report. All right, next up, we are going to look at this week's Player Spotlight, Mr. And I alluded to this earlier when I was going through the standings and talking about the Seattle Kraken, Mr. Shane Wright. And the crowd goes wild. 4th round pick overall, 2022. Of course, everybody remembers the stare down to the Montreal Canadiens when it was like, he's going to go first. And then he didn't get picked first. And he was like, I'm staring you guys down. Why didn't you pick me? It was obvious he was like staring at them. Was like, okay. But, what does it really matter? I don't think it matters. Seattle's taken their time a bit with developing him. I know he played in some games. I know he had some, he had some points early on, I think, but then he had the, I don't want to say obligatory, but he had the, as a rookie, guys were going after him, the big hits, that happen on a lot of rookies trying to welcome you to the league and all that stuff. But the reason I wanted to talk about him is because he was recalled on March 31st to the team, basically probably because they're like, hey, we're not making the playoffs. Let's get him a little experience here because we expect him. He's had a really good year in the AHL. We expect him to make a run at making the team next year. And so, I still don't think he's a bust. I think if he was, he would have terrible stats in the AHL, which he does not. And I think it's fine they're taking their time. Like, even a lot of these number one guys, like, keep in mind, like, even the top touted prospects, like, it's a big jump from the junior leagues to the NHL. It's not like other sports where, a lot of the later rounders can make that jump right away. Like, the system is directly set up to kind of favor the long-term development, or I should say not favor the quick jumps. A lot of teams go back to a lot of players go back to juniors after they're slowly welcomed to the AHL, then they're slowly implemented to the NHL. So I don't really think it's that big of a deal that they've taken their time a bit. I think he's only 20 years old, but But I wanted to look at his Young Guns just here through the 30th, which was before the news broke out that he was recalled. We have 17 total sold. And then if we go to the 31st and then go to we'll just go to the 6th, kind of keep the time frame a little bit even and see. So 17 compared to 46. So yeah, pretty big jump there on the Young Guns of what was sold after the recall. Got one here, 11 out of 100. That's an exclusive, $70. Still, that's not that much money. I have it was a UD Redemption, numbered to like $9.99 or something like that for artifacts. I think it was 22, 23 artifacts. Card's in pretty good condition. Probably would get a 9. I'm thinking about grading it. I think that he will get in the lineup full time next year. Also, it helps that for him that Seattle's not really good. They're probably like, all right, let's see what we got here, because what we got's not working. We're gonna lose some guys. We need to tweak some things. Let's try to get him into the system. So we'll keep tabs on that and see how he does next year. But I think he's gonna have a good year. I don't think he's a bust. If you got his cards, hold on to him. I'd probably sell him now, or maybe you could wait until next year, to the start of the season next year, see how he does, and go from there. All right, now we're going to go around YouTube quickly and talk about some of the things we've seen, some of the videos we've seen around YouTube this past week. 23-24 SP Game Used, as we saw earlier, was released, which is pretty cool. We have a new product out there. I will not be opening it. I'm not opening a lot of cards. I'm not opening any cards right now, other than the cards I buy to resell on eBay. Look, cards are expensive, guys. That's part of why I've shifted this channel a little bit. I still want to open cards. I want to have weekly pack breaks as a segment on this show once I get some more cards. But it's expensive. We all know that. And so I'm not going to open the Game Used. But in terms of Game Used, I saw, GP Sports Cards. They got some pretty cool jersey cards out of those boxes. Ziri11 is doing a Connor Bedard giveaway. This isn't Game Used related, but he's doing a Connor Bedard giveaway, and he usually does giveaways in his videos where he does opens a bunch of packs. Usually it's Tim Hortons, opening 100 packs of Tim Hortons hockey. This time I think he's doing a bunch of Series 2 packs, but he's giving away a Young Guns, regular Young Guns of Bedard. Contests last a month. It's one of those comment, but hashtag Bedard, and he picks somebody randomly. So I did it because, hey, that would be kind of cool, right? And those are selling for a decent amount. So check that out if you want to get in on that giveaway and maybe get a Connor Bedard card. And then I also saw too, I think he posted a video this morning where I think some Series 2 made it into the boom box for what month are we in here? April. So that was kind of cool. I wonder if I haven't been opening those. Like I said, I'm not opening anything right now, but I wonder what the price of those were. Obviously the price, I'm sure that boombox is a little bit higher. But and then lastly here, I saw Sports Card Investor. That's the Jeff Wilson. He does the Market Movers company, but the channel Sports Card Investor. He reported that Connor Bedard employees are getting Connor Bedard employees. Connor Bedard is so famous, he has his own employees. Can you believe it? And all of them are the rest of the team of the Chicago Blackhawks. No. Upper Deck employees are getting Connor Bedard employee exclusive cards, autographed and numbered, I think. And somebody already sold one on eBay for $3,100. And so, they were just having a discussion on what you think about that. And I honestly don't have a problem with it. I have a problem with Series 2 boxes costing $300 pre-sale. Because again, we're stuck in this, is it a hobby or a investment? And those two can coexist, and they do, and I think they should. And they have since people started to look at these as investments, even before they were worth anything, during the junk wax year. That's why a lot of people saved those. These are going to be worth something. These are going to be worth something. And some of them are, Jordans and stuff. Some of those cards are, but, I think for me, just having it cost that much, though, to everybody, investors and just collectors, a lot of kids collect cards, like they're not going to resell it, and so, I just don't like the fact that it costs so much. And there's only one player in the game, right? So it's Upper Deck. And there's other, Leaf Metal, but like Upper Deck holds the exclusive license right now to show the jerseys on the card, the team jerseys on the card with the players. So it is. I don't like seeing those boxes being so high. And then hearing this story, I think plays into that a little bit. But I mean, I don't fault the employees for, getting the card and selling it even. I mean, that's good for them. I would do the same thing. You would too. I thought that was kind of cool to mention. And the last thing here, looking ahead, I want to jump into the card world here. This is David Adams Card World. This is where I buy my cards typically when I buy cards. Although I'm actually always looking for like a new dealer. I mean, this is a pretty big company. I would love to buy from like a smaller company. I went to some local card shops, but the prices are always higher. That's just unfortunate when you buy from smaller companies sometimes. But I wanted to go through quickly and look at some of the upcoming products here. We got May 3rd. And again, placeholder dates. These are moving targets always. AHL, I love AHL products, July 12th. CHL as well, really, really cool. I saw a ton of those from 22-23. Even the base stuff, people love those CHL cards. Where are we at here? April 8th. So this is April 17th. Pre-sales, extended June, July. We're getting way ahead there. Extended. Yeah, these will all be pushed way back. May 1st, SPX. We'll see about that one. April 17th. So, yeah, especially when you see a lot more, and when you see more than one product on the same day, April 17th with Skybox Metal, and what was the other one? Black Diamond, like that. Like 90% of the time never happens. And then a week later, Trilogy and Premiere, right? Like that's not going to happen. But these sites know that. Everybody knows that. It's just kind of what they got right now. It's moving targets. We'll wait and see. We still got 22, 23 products out there. Synergy was okay. I opened Synergy. Was it 22, 23? I mean, it's a lot of money for less cards, which should be Upper Deck's motto now. I mean, it's okay. They don't resell that great, to be honest, if you're looking to resell. But collect, I mean, they got some cool designs for collecting purposes. OBG Platinum, July 17th. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so I just want to do a quick look at what's upcoming as well. So that's it, guys. That is episode 4 of The Puck Mike Show. Be sure to check out our playlist and podcast, The Puck Mike Show, a weekly show discussing the latest and greatest hockey card news, featuring key segments like Around the League, the top news stories around the world of hockey and their impact on the hockey card market, the Card Report, card-centric hockey card news, weekly pack breaks, and so much more. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Don't forget to check out my other channel as well at Cards Do Sports Cards, where I share my experience selling mostly low-end sports cards on eBay. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll check you later.